We bout to blow explosive. We bout to blow explosive. Been making bad decisions. Empty bottles on the floor, yeah. Hella obsessed with winning. I be grinding on the low, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Muchi Matters, the channel where I speak about the things that matter to me. And today, my baby matters to me. And tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that. You have not mattered to me for a while, my people, my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. Well, what can be said that hasn't already been said?
Where have you been?
How do you explain the inexplicable? We can sit here all day, guys, and unpack. You know, usually people, when they come back for our YouTube, they start to explain, guys, I was going through something. I was having a garage. I was not going through anything at all. Maybe one of the best years of my life. It's just, yeah.
I know it has not much to do with me. I'm like, oh, as if you dedicating
it to me. You see us sweating here, guys. You know,
it's hot.
Kalama complex. There's all types of noises when we're recording outside. So to close windows and to make sure that umoya inside is maintained, you might see makeshift fans being blown away. I might blow some.
Oh, thank you.
Look at that, baby. Opening doors and windows means you're gonna hear the dog next door barking. Woo! Dog next door barking. And of course, ma'am over here has makeup on, so she constantly has to stay fresh. And you can see my forehead, my little body is shining as well. But yeah, like I said, guys, not too much needs to be said at this stage of the game. I was just busy with other things. And also, the longer you stay away, the harder it is to come back. And honestly, I had nothing that I wanted to do on YouTube. And the few times I wanted to work last year was with brands, and they come through, and then you guys come in your comments and you think,
not another ad.
You only come here when it's time to sell something. And I hated that as much as you do, as much as you did, of course. I didn't hate the money, but I hated the way that we were making that money. That felt like I was stealing money. You know, it felt a bit grimy, and that's not the reason why we started these things. So I'm definitely back on YouTube, 2022. Hopefully with new energy, and hopefully we'll be sharing a lot more of what's going on in my life. I'm planning to do a lot more vlogs. I've got some footage that I've been taking for this year. So the next episode you'll see is a vlog of just what's been going on. A lot more behind the scenes stuff that I work with. So you guys still ask us things like, what do you do for work? And it's, I don't know, it's getting a bit weird. Let me jump into frame now. So yeah, other than that, guys, yeah, same old, same old. We're still working, we're still pushing. You already know what it is. Yeah. But of course, most importantly, you know that, of course, me and the lady out here are now... Come here. Come here. Last time when we shot together, of course, the situation was not the same.
You did this.
Yeah.
This is your part.
Congratulations. I hope you're happy now.
And thank you.
I hope you're very, very happy now. Like I said, welcome back to Muchi Matters. We're going to be rocking. And we're going to give long speeches again about what's going to be happening and promises. And you're going to get a movie. Getting back into the mood. Slowly, you guys will come back. We'll start rocking together. Yeah. Same, of course, at the Black Wendy channel. She's back on her channel. She's been back for several months now. So if you don't know, of course, the details will be all over on the place here. Go check out what she's doing on her channel. She has weekly vlogs and all that, right? And there's a lot more to come, but for now you can definitely catch those. She's also back on her channel as of this past week. Yeah, and we've been traveling a lot and working a lot together. So the year started off quite hot. So there's a lot of content to be put out there. It's just about timing. So today we decided, you know, following up from the mukbang, you guys did this. You poured so much love into our union, I guess, or to make it happen, that we thought, at least since I'm coming back and things have changed, let's at least do something fun together again. Because you guys, I think that's probably my last bang video on my channel. Because last year's videos, the 3 or 4 that I put out were all work. You know what I mean? So in 2020, the last really dope thing that I shot towards the end of the year was when I shot with you. So I think this serves right to start off the year with, of course, my favorite face in the world. And we asked you guys to ask us some questions to make it fun, to make it complicated, to make it weird, to make it sexy. Woo. And you didn't hold back. We have a whole bunch of questions to get through. So this is a Q&A, I guess. You know what I mean? Not I guess, it's a Q&A. It's 100%.
It's not like it's
a Q&A.
Yep.
And without further more to do, we're going to get straight into it. Right. First question.
Oh, my word.
She's going to answer it. No, she's going to ask it. Sorry. Ladies are going to go first.
Okay, so first of all, when we ask people to ask these questions, we're very specific. We said fun, sexy, don't ask us like basic questions, come in hard, and people came in hard. Okay,
I'm very excited. I saw some of the questions. I didn't want to read all of them pre-recording. I just took a screenshot of them and lined them up because I didn't want to over-prepare answers.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm also reading some of them for the first time, honestly, truly.
Which is good.
Baby. Who's the freak in this relationship?
Who's the freak in this relationship?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about this. I've answered this question in a different way sometime. Somebody asked who's the freak, men or women, whatever. But who's the freak in this relationship? And I'll tell you, I mean, if I had to give it up to someone, I'll say maybe baby girl over here. Maybe baby girl in here. Because let me tell you something what goes on in these ladies' minds. Girls be thinking thoughts, bro.
What's plural?
They be thinking thoughts.
Who are the girls? Who are these other girls?
I'm saying about girls in general. I'm going back to the plural of the of what I was saying. Women being freaks. Girls be thinking thoughts.
I mean, we are creative.
If guys think they're freaky, and then you speak to a woman, you're like, you want to do what? And then flip it, and then dip it, and then roll it up in some flour. I don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I'm definitely the freak. I must agree. Everything. I'll turn any situation into a sexual situation. Like he'll say anything, and I'll be like, oh.
I'll be like, yo, I'm hungry. She go, oh, you know where the kitchen is.
Are you hungry?
It's okay, Meg the Stallion. Pipe down a little bit. I can't walk around this house with my ass all out and get objectified. I get objectified every time I'm walking
on the daily.
So it's
all day.
It's a very tense situation out here, but I love it. You know, I think we gel nicely, me and my
I think there's a nice balance there.
She's definitely. I think because, like I said, ladies like to come across as sweet and whatever, but as soon as they're comfortable, they're like, yeah, let me see that thing. Put that thing on my back. You're like, what?
What?
I just woke up. What are you even talking about? Put it on my, flip it and then dip it. Put it in my ear. I don't know. What?
Babe!
I want to hear that dick.
Maybe listen to that. Don't put my business in the streets.
It is what it is. Now you guys know. The people out there thinking that I'm the problematic.
Guys, honestly, can I just say, guys, honestly, I don't want my street cred to be altered out there. I'm a Christian woman. I'm all about scripture. I'm all about Jesus Christ. So I don't just know my baby. You're freaking. My turn. Cool. No, actually, it's your turn, baby.
It is. Bam, 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 bam. Please answer in Zulu. Muchi, that's me. What's one quality that Wendy possesses that you admire? And I must answer in Zulu. I think ngitshele ke ndoda. I think ngitshele ngentombi yami ke. Mina ngifike but I think ngitshele ngentombi yaseshow engiyithandayo kakhulu mina ke. Hawe ma. Asibonge.
Why?
Asibonge.
Why did your voice even change?
We ma ngithi ngitshele ke. Manje ngiyithandayo ngentombi yami. Kakhulu unehlonipho. Unehlonipho.
Babe.
And uthanda uNkulunkulu. Intombi yami uthanda uNkulunkulu and yonke into ayenzayo uqala ngeNkulunkulu. Uthi uNkulunkulu sihamba sonke. Bathi shwi kancane.
NoNkulunkulu.
Wena uNkulunkulu shwi.
NgeNkulunkulu ake sike sithi
Siyakhuluma ngezulu mina angahlali nami phela.
Siyakhuluma ngempela wena babe.
Ngiyasikhuluma.
Yeah.
Sholoza. I'm running out of Zulu words.
But that was good, baby.
Yeah.
You did it.
Come on now.
You did it. Okay. My turn. How long in the relationship did you guys wait to have sex?
Wait, am I gonna answer this now?
Yeah.
We waited, what is it, 4 hours?
Yeah, it was around 3 hours. 3 hours or so.
3 or 4 hours into us. Because of course, that doesn't happen when we shot the video. This happened almost a year later. Yes, almost a year later. Because then we never got together or anything. We just shot, we took your guys' comments in.
We actually worked together and we were friends and we saw all the things online about how we should date, and Mesejo was out here also just like championing the whole thing, but we were actual like friends and working just like professionally.
Absolutely. So I didn't pursue anything. Time went by, but when we decided to pursue something, it started off as, yo, you wanna pull up to my crib and chill?
You know, guys, that's exactly how he slid into my DMs. He was just like, pull up on me.
Yeah, I was like, yo, do you wanna pull up and chill together? We're watching something. I'm like, let's just watch it together. She's like, what? You hate this show? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I'm gonna put you on. Let's watch. I'm like, I pull up. I'm gonna organize some food, whatever, blah blah blah. Pull up, skirt on the boy. Let's do this. And it was still lockdown.
Yeah, so he cooked for
at that
me.
time. So I cooked. We couldn't go out to a restaurant. Also because it was evening and she was still on set, whatever. What was it?
Yes, I was.
She was working. So she was only free later on the day that I said let's rock. So she came through late. She was actually late. She was supposed to come through like 4 or 5, but she only pulled up around 6. And if I remember correctly, curfew was 9 at that time, 9 or 10. But it was early. So she came 6 and was like, you only have a couple of hours to watch this thing and eat and chill and catch up. I was like, what time are you gonna leave? Like in 2 hours already? You're here at 6.
Now it's like, I'm gonna leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I told her on the way, I was like, yo, pack a toothbrush.
No, what did I say? Oh, so he was cooking for me. And I said to him, what do you want me to bring? Like, I can pass by the shops. Do you want me to bring like a bottle of wine or whatever? And he was like, oh, no, we sorted. But I don't share toothbrushes. I was like, bet.
Oh, yo, boy, hit nothing but net. Pew!
Okay.
And when she came, she just made it clear that she's sleeping over. I was like, you know, the undertones were there when we started re-talking again now, when the direction of the conversation went away from friendship. The undertones were there. There was a bit flirtatious. Just enough so it wasn't like, yo, come see this thing. You know, then she was just like, I'm gonna put this thing on you. It was
also, I needed a massage, I remember. Okay, I don't know how far we want to go with the details of this evening, actually. But
she said something about, I need a massage. You know,
I had shot a very hectic scene a couple of days earlier, and I had said to him, yo, my back has been killing me, so I'm definitely going to need a massage when I get there. And he was like, yeah, I bet. Got there, sat down, he massaged my back. As soon as he touched my back, I was like, what I will do is spend the evening.
Thirsty ass out
okay.
I'm like, look at your thirsty ass. I know you want it. I know you.
Okay, next question.
I'm so glad we're doing this little drinks. My baby, the goose is loose.
I could never do this sober.
All right, next question from my side. Somebody said, recite her clan names.
You prepared, baby.
Now,
if you recite them properly.
No, wait. Because I only know the one. You know the one that I know. I'm about to say. One of our clan names is Yeah. You know? And the other one is a bit hard. I keep forgetting it.
Yeah.
So she's only told me this once, and I tried to remember it. But of course, you can't remember. You can't forget. Yeah. All right. Next question.
When are we getting a bundle of joy?
When are we getting a bundle of joy?
Speaking of,
I mean, I buy a bunch of flowers all the time. It's a nice bundle that brings joy. So I feel like there's that. I also can buy you bundles. You still seen it? And those bundles, you can Google things that bring you joy. Bundles of joy. Boom. How many gigs do you want?
Are you going to answer this question for real?
No. One day we'll have a... You know, one day when we're ready to have a kid together or whatever. But when we're ready to have a kid together, we'll definitely have the kid that we're ready to. That we're ready to have.
The kid will be had.
The kid in question.
The
kid you're inquiring about. When we're ready to have one, we'll have one.
When the time comes, it'll come, and then with it, the kid.
And also, I mean, this leads up to like a 3-tier question now. Because the other question that people ask is, would you get married? How do you feel about marriage? And how do you feel about marriage? And do you even want kids? So this person asked, when will we have kid? And somebody definitely asks, do we even want kids?
We do.
Cool, 100%. We definitely do. I definitely want to be a father. I want to be a daddy, not a zaddy.
Oh my god.
I'm tired of being a zaddy. I'm trying to be a daddy. Daddy!
For like 3 years. In 3 years' time, we're trying to get this money up. We're trying to get these bags up. We're trying to sign these deals. we're trying to build, we're trying to create
Let's
and expand in other ways before we expand in that way.
But absolutely, couldn't think of anybody else to have a child with than my cutie pie over here. And about marriage, I guess similar question as well. We definitely, obviously, we're both quite old. Wendy's so.
Oh my gosh, babe.
You know, doesn't matter what the numbers are. Just we're both.
Oh,
old.
let's talk about the numbers.
No, numbers are important. But yeah, so that's a thing that we've definitely spoken about as well, because we both want that. So we're both working towards staying together and building a life together.
Absolutely.
If that answers the question. We're rocking out of here, boy. This ain't no after school special. All right.
Your turn.
Name one thing you had to unlearn or let go of in order for this relationship to work.
The one thing I had to let go of is just my general lack of trust. I struggle to trust people. A lot of my relationships in the past fell through, and by relationships I mean friendships, almost romantic relationships or whatever. They fell through because my trust was broken, and so entering this relationship I had to just kind of not expect him to break my trust and to just lean in completely into the relationship and let the relationship be the relationship and take its course and be unique to anything that I've ever experienced before. So I had to unlearn just the who's texting us, or the, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I have to do that. So I had to unlearn that behavior, because I feel like that's something mechanism, a coping mechanism, where you're just let me disappoint myself first before he disappoints me. So I had to unlearn that because I really wanted to lean completely into love. Yeah. What about you?
For me, it was actually, because I most recently had gone through, a bit of heartbreak. So it felt like, nah, there's no way I can find something real again. There's no way it could ever happen to me again. So I was very hesitant to fall in love, because I was like, I just know how much it sucks to lose in love. So I had to let all that go, because then I knew that I'm only half loving. I'm half stepping this relationship with somebody who I think is amazing, and because I'm scared of when you put in all the work, or to pour your love into someone and then for that not to work out is very very heartbreaking. And everybody who's watching this, most people at least, will know a thing or two about heartbreak. So the thing I had to unlearn was the past is the past. And it doesn't matter if you choose to move on, you must either do it open-heartedly, complete or wholeheartedly, or not at all. It doesn't help for you to have as somebody else just because somebody else may have broken your heart. Now everybody else must feel this brunt. It's the same thing that we speak about when we speak about guys, about someone hit you when you're in grade 3, and now all of a sudden you don't trust anyone again. First of all, why you trust someone in grade 3 is already weird as hell.
The fact that you were in a serious relationship in grade 3, that's what we need to unpack.
Very, very troubling. That someone tore you apart in grade 3.
In the 3rd grade.
You couldn't watch Care Bears, you were beside yourself.
I don't want the slushy.
Take these Cocoa Pops
Broken-hearted.
out of here. Fuck Cocoa Pops. And they're like, why is he so broken?
Fuck bubblegum. Fuck Sarah. Breaking my
He's
heart.
8. Why is he? You can't eat.
8 going through it.
8 going on 30. And then you don't stop trusting again. So that's the thing about it. And I'm actually going to use that opportunity for this question to anchor into another one, because I think it's nice when things tie in together, like we answered the one previously, because somebody asked off the back that, yes, because I'm now saying that I had recently gone through, a couple years ago, gone through, something heartbreaking. But also somebody asked the question directed to you. She's like, how has the relationship dynamics been for you, Wendy? Because you've spoken about how long you had been single for to now getting into a relationship. After being single for so long, what did you struggle with?
So I feel like this is my first actual relationship, because it really is. Everything that I've encountered in the past, I'm realizing was just because both me and those people were just half-assing it, or we didn't know what we were doing. I was in high school, like in first year or whatever. Like I just didn't really know how to navigate a relationship, and neither did the next person. So I really feel like this is my first actual relationship, and it has just been a roller coaster because I'm learning myself and I'm learning the next person in like a relationship context, and it hasn't always been easy actually. Like being in a relationship, a month into us dating, I had to move apartments and stuff. And I remember Muchi going, oh, because you're going to be on set from 6 to 6, let me take care of that. So give me your key, and it was very like personal. And I was just like, well, what's happening, you know? So even that gesture, as amazing as it was the gesture that made me go, oh my gosh, I'm in a relationship. Like this is my partner, you know? So I have to let go of control, and I have to be able to lean on someone else. And so for me, the relationship dynamic has been interesting in that sense. Like just learning to completely lean on someone and knowing that he's gonna catch me has just been like something that I didn't really think that I was gonna be able to do, because I've been alone my entire life. So I've had to like figure out, if I'm on set from 6 to 6, how is this other thing gonna happen, you know? But having someone else to kind of like step in places where you can't, and give them the control to do that, give them the trust to do that, like surrendering certain parts of my life to someone else is what I've had to learn. Because when you're alone, you don't really have to think about that. You have to think about like how you're going to maneuver, how you're going to navigate, how you're going to like split yourself in half, essentially. So that's been incredible to know that I have a friend, I have someone else to lean on in life. And as nice and as incredible as that sounds, it's something that I really had to adjust to, like, and adapt, basically. Now you're doing makeup, yeah, okay. Is it me now? I think so. Perfect. Cool. What's one habit that Muchi has, or what's one habit that Wendy has and can't let go of that drives you crazy?
What is the one? This is difficult because you actually don't have bad habits.
Baby, I don't have bad habits.
You don't have a lot of bad habits. I'm trying to figure out how to zone into something that's really like.
I mean, one habit. It doesn't have to be a bad habit.
Okay,
just start. A habit for me.
Yes.
And you know that.
Yes.
It's actually two things. I don't know which one to go for here. It's two things that we've spoken
that was
about.
Perfect.
Muchi, a lot goes on like in his mind. Muchi wakes up and puts the news on and reads articles, and he could like read articles the whole day about like random stuff that's happening in the world, right? And so sometimes I'm like talking to him about something, but he's like fixated on that article that he read at 11 o'clock. That's just like still on his mind that he's trying to figure. You know what I mean? So basically, like the one habit is the easily distractedness that he's very easily distracted. Like I could start a sentence now and be like, oh my gosh, babe, let me tell you what just happened. Okay, so I walked in the house, and he's listening to me when I say walked in the house. As soon as I start with the juicy parts of the story, he's looking out the window because he has left the room. So that's one thing that, and he can't let go. It's better, but it's still like there. I still have to be like, baby, what did I just say? It doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen to things that matter. I have to put that out there. Like it doesn't, like I don't come to him crying and he just goes, "Ooh, that article in the Washington Post." Is like he doesn't do that. But like he's just so easily distracted. Like even if something happens in the moment, like right now, and I'm talking to him right now, he could literally just like focus on that person doing that thing there instead of like what I'm saying. But you're learning. You're learning.
Oh, and I've been like that my entire life. So my friends have told me that for the longest time. Like sometimes I drift away. People will be joking. Usually, and it's harder. It's like I have to be very conscious about it when I'm talking to one person. But in a crowd of people, I drift away willingly. Like I just like, I'm gonna switch off a little bit here and then go do my own thing. And
become my own thing.
Really trying to figure something out because I don't know where to like start and end when I'm trying to figure things out or something is bothering me. Like every 5 seconds I'll be like, oh wait, what did you say? Because I definitely just thought about that thing again. So I do drift away at times. I'm definitely not like a complete drifter who just lives in the clouds somewhere. But I do have a bad habit of like
being distracted.
Especially if she found me doing something else already and she's trying to get my attention to do something. That's when I'll be like, what? What do you say, baby? She's like, I'm trying to tell you something. I'm like, okay, I was already switched off, so it's even harder now. Where I was really like deep in thought, or not even deep in thought, like I'm trying to figure out the theory of relativity or something. Why is the Earth? No, that's not what.
Is it round?
Is it round?
What is round?
What is round? You know, I'm sitting here going, E equals MC squared?
Square?
Squared, nigga!
Okay, what should
Einstein
I
was on some other.
do? Answer my part of it now, baby.
It's very, very difficult.
And I'm doing this because I know that we could go on and on and on about the MC squared thing. I was feeling us through it. So I was like, this video is gonna be 10 hours long.
I think one habit that that you have, that sometimes you're very hesitant to make a decision. Like you overthink things. And I'm always like, just do it. Make a decision and get it done. Tell them no, tell them yes, choose the color purple, let's go. You're always like, and you know what I'm learning about that? I realize that how little sometimes I think about certain things. Because when you start to explain, I'll be like, oh, okay, I do get it sometimes. But in other things, because it's a general kind of a way that you are, not just about the important things, and even about the smallest of things. So you're very hesitant to make a decision, and you have that, you know, like you speak about being anxious sometimes, and I can see it coming through. And sometimes where you're like, once I make the decision, I must now live with it. And what if I hate the thing that I have to live with? I can see all of it happening in your eyes. That's why I am a little bit gentler in how I approach it. I'm like, baby, this is the best option. Instead of like being, yo, let's get it done, let's go. Tell them I sent the email on your behalf. Like, what? Yeah, I don't want you to draw you in a panic, so I try to lean you softly towards a decision and telling you it's the best decision. Trust me. Even if at the time I may not have all the information to say it's the best decision, but like with the information that we have, we have to make a decision. So unfortunately, we can't overthink this to like until it's like, and what if it's the worst decision I've ever made in my life? Because you can easily drive yourself to that. So I'm always trying to bring you back and be like, don't worry about it. And if it's a mistake and we've made a mistake, we'll fix it. It's not a problem. If you make the wrong choice, if you bought the wrong color, we'll go back tomorrow and we'll buy the right color. You know what I mean? But that hesitation that you have is something that I've seen that you've spoken about as well. And for me, I'm a person who's like, I either won't make a decision, or I'll be like,
that's you.
I don't want to make this decision. I don't care about this thing. Or I'll be like, and then you'll be like, no, people must choose. I'm like, yeah, but I want you to choose the thing that you like, so that you're not anxious about the choice that we need to make. Because otherwise, I'm gonna make a decision, and then you're gonna be like, well, that's the wrong decision. You know what I mean? So I'm happy to like when I don't care about something, where I'm just like, if it's pink or blue, I could. And you're like, if it's pink, it sends out this message. And if it's blue, I'm like, why are you making me? Why are you making me feel like I need to overthink something? But yeah, that hesitant nature is something that I'm always like, oh, make the decision, my lady.
True. Next question, your turn.
It is my turn. All right. So this question is interesting because we watch a lot of comedy, and it was actually asked by a friend of mine. And I'll actually say his name. Kaz asked this question because he says I don't give him credit, my bro Kaz. He says we discuss a lot of things personally, and then I say them out to the world, and it's like, that was my idea. I'm like, it wasn't your idea. You need to chill the fuck out. But Kaz likes to take credit. Kaz likes to take credit for a lot of things that we talk about and laugh about together, because he's also about that banter. But also, Kaz is the person who named me Muchi. You know what I'm saying? I didn't name myself. I wanted a nickname my whole life. And I used to be like, people are so boring and so dry. So about 12 years ago, Kaz was always like, Mooch, 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 Mooch. And he actually came up with the whole thing. So I'm giving you your flowers now, nigga. If you're looking for them, come find them in this Q&A. But he asked, who is funnier? Steve Carrell. Wait, is it Steve Carrell? Steve Carrell or Tina Fey?
Oh, guys, Steve Carrell.
You think Steve Carrell is
Here's why
funnier?
I say Steve Carrell. Actually, I think it's an unfair answer from my side. I've watched more of his content than I have Tina Fey's. And it's the first thing. But he's made me laugh all the time, and Tina Fey has made me laugh here and there. So for me, it's Steve Carell all the way. I can't even, what? The Office. Like, Michael Scott, what? He is incredible. Steve Carell.
I have to say Steve Carell for Michael Scott.
Yes.
Because that's the most iconic thing. And there's no equally iconic thing for me that I can say for Tina Fey. Yes, she was amazing in 30 Rock.
She's incredible.
She's also an amazing writer. And she's done great in movies as well. But I feel like Tina Fey has better comedic timing. Like, as a person. Steve Carell, outside of...
Yes.
Of
orchestrated
Michael,
comedy.
Outside of being Michael in The Office, he has not shown a lot of natural humor
outside of that.
The way he carries himself, he doesn't have that thing about him where you're like,
I don't think he's funny actually.
Yeah,
in real life.
He doesn't come across as funny at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see him like at award shows having those gags, or in clips somewhere having those gags, or online having gags. Because funny people just like, it just translates anyway. No matter what. Someone like Will Ferrell, for example, he's funny in the movie and it's just ridiculous in real life. Every time. He can't turn it off. Steve Carell, his ability to turn it on and off means he's a great comedic actor.
Yes.
But Tina Fey is naturally funnier.
Period, yeah.
Like, she's the one person who just walks in the door, I'm like, I can just see it in your face that you're gonna say something absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? I could compare Tina Fey to, like, locally, I mean, someone who makes me laugh, and I think I pick this person up every time, just because he has a funny face, like David Cow. Something about him, as soon as he comes in, as soon as he starts talking, they carry themselves in humor. Versus another comedian like Lois Ogola. When Lois Ogola comes across the road, like, he has to start talking for you or something, or he doesn't look like a naturally funny person. He looks like somebody who like has great comedy to like maybe deliver. But someone like David Cow just seems silly. Maybe that's the word. They just look like silly people who are always like trying to poke fun.
Who don't take themselves too seriously.
Exactly.
With Steve Carell, like he does take himself seriously, which is why when he is casted in those roles, he's serious about delivering the way that he is written to deliver, basically.
Absolutely.
Whereas Tina Fey and the people that you've mentioned don't really take themselves too seriously. And I think that's why they are funny by nature, and Steve Carell's funny when casted and like when it's like orchestrated comedy. But I still Steve Carell.
The Office to be DI.
What?
Because I mean,
what?
If you don't know how much The Office is loved in this house.
The Office is the best show ever made.
Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Honestly, okay, cool. Okay, what about Muchi makes your toes curl? And Muchi, what about Wendy makes your toes curl? So basically, what turns you on?
What turns you on?
What turns you on about Wendy, and what turns me on about Muchi? I'm gonna have you start.
Yeah, I mean, everything about Wendy turns me on. It does. Firstly, I love the way my girl talks. I think she has a very nice voice. You know, she has a very...
I'm like, really?
She's like, really? Welcome to Come With It.
Coast to coast.
So yeah, I like the way my girl speaks, the way she just pronounces words, and the way that you do sound like somebody who's on television or whatever. A very sultry, sexy voice.
Oh, baby.
So I like listening to you speak. So that alone, that's why I get distracted when you speak. I'm just like, I can't wait to tear that ass up.
Oh my god. I'm actually doing Zulu voiceovers. You're like,
You doing Zulu voices? I'm like,
You about to get some.
So that's one thing. The other thing is, it ain't about your beauty, it's about your booty. I love that ass, girl. You know what I mean? What else could be turning me on? And of course, her face. She's incredibly beautiful, obviously. So seeing my girlfriend just walk through the room is like, hey, what you going? And then she's got that face. You guys see that face? She has that. Make it again. She has these anecdotes that she does, making her face like that when she goes.
You love it when I do that.
I love when you do that. It's like the cutest thing. I'm just like, what you doing over there? Come over here and do that.
What you got going on back there?
Yeah, but I mean, this entire face, as you can see, right here. Okay, now I'm gonna start objectifying my girlfriend a little bit. So I'm gonna pause it right there.
Okay. What? Thank you, baby.
Oh, you're welcome, my
angel. Sweet. What turns me on about Muchi? First of all, And I noticed this the first time we met, like over 2 years ago, whenever. Noticed this and I was like, when you fetched me from the gates at your place, his height.
Okay, don't make it sound like I'm LeBron James.
I mean, you know, baby, but like your body. I tell you this all the time. I love your body. I love Muchi's body. Like, I love Muchi's body. So his body turns me on. And this is gonna sound weird, but like, he's just so funny. And I know that everyone knows this, but like Muchi's humor is just so incredible. So sometimes we sit here and we chill and we talk and whatever, and I laugh so hard that, and I look at him and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's so sexy. His humor is just so, it's so sexy. Like whenever you make me laugh like hard, I'm just like, oh my word, like this is, and it's just like specific things that he says and the way that he says them, the references that we share, that I know that these are references that we share. Oh, inject that shit into my veins.
Love it.
Okay, cool. Your turn, hey.
Okay, next question. Let's move right along. Somebody asked, when are y'all's birthdays? It's very interesting, and the only reason we're gonna ask this is because, baby, when's your birthday?
The 8th of August.
Baby, when's my birthday?
The 9th of August.
That's the worst.
It's literally the worst.
It's literally the worst.
On so many levels. First of all, it's the worst because mine is the 8th and his is the 9th, like the day after. And I have to stop celebrating my birthday at midnight.
Yeah.
From midnight
I wanna
onwards,
hear
it's
it.
not about you, it's now about Muchi. But then also, it's Women's Day. But it's Muchi's birthday.
Oh, she thought she used to have a double header.
I forfeited.
She used to have a double header. You used to go from birthday to Women's Day.
Yeah. I had a 48-hour window where it
God.
was about me.
That shit
And
is
he
over,
came
son.
in and he was like, no.
That shit is over. We're definitely rocking it. And the 8th is her birthday. And as soon as it goes midnight, I don't want to hear anything. And Funu Uzo looks. It's now my birthday. Asneng. Asneng. Same time. But it is an interesting thing, but it's an annoying thing. Because, I mean, of course, now you guys are listening.
Sorry.
I mean, of course, now you guys have heard that, you're like, oh man, what a logistical nightmare, actually. It sounds like a cute thing, but it's actually not cute at all.
Especially this year.
Yeah, because she's turning 30.
And he's turning 35.
You know what I mean? So it's... Okay, well, you didn't have to say my birthday like that. Why you gotta...
I mean, you just say she's turning 30.
I know we're gonna...
So I was like, well, you're turning 35.
I gotta add the Kevin Hart. Damn!
I'm sorry.
35. Woo!
I'm
Just
sorry.
said it out loud. So anyway...
But you know what I mean? Like, those are big-ish birthdays for both of
nigga,
us.
nobody cares about 35
35 is such a nice number. Wow.
Nobody cares about anyone turning 35. Hey, come on, tell me I'm 35. Like,
Okay, I'm gonna remind him of this when I'm celebrating my 30th, and then at midnight he goes, cut the music, cut
It's
the
still my
clock."
birthday though. What I love is my birthday. It's not like a big milestone birthday. It's just like whatever. You turn 30 and then you turn 40. Everything else in between. Don't invite people to. I'm turning 33. Fuck you when you're 33.
Babe!
Nobody cares about you turning 33. Literally, just go home. Go home. Oh, I'm turning 33. Hey guys, it's my 37th. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm gonna celebrate every year like it's my 30th.
Yeah, I'm saying they just don't make it a
31,
thing.
32, whatever.
Like I told you, I've booked out this thing and it's happening. You get there like, what the hell? How old is this guy turning? And they tell you 33. You're like, what?
That is a nice number though.
Nah.
I love double digits.
Whatever. But yeah, so that's the logistical thing you have to deal with. Any birthday getaway is a double birthday getaway.
Yeah.
And you understand, any big birthday for one person, especially if it's hers, if she takes the 8th and throws a big birthday, the 9th is low-key cancelled. People are hungover. What else to do it again?
I feel like that's gonna happen this year though.
Because it's the 30th, like I said, this year is definitely yours 100%. Both days are yours.
Yeah.
I'll squeeze myself in there somewhere because it's your 30th. You know, you're
But the
supposed
thing
to...
is, you know when it becomes tricky? It's when, obviously, my friends want to celebrate with me and your friends want to celebrate with you. So if we do a destination thing, and if I'm just like, I want to be in Zimbabwe for my 30th, and and he also has to be there. He also now has to be cognizant of the fact that, well, tomorrow it's my birthday, so my friends also have to be there. So I think, like, logistically, it becomes a bit like...
Yeah,
of
we're
a
gonna... Something that we'll have to workshop quite a lot.
Yeah, because people are like, that's so cute. And I was like,
What is cute
no,
about
it's
it?
not. It's
Well,
not.
and also, I will tell you the benefit that I'll get on this day because I get to go in and bring actually this actually ties into another question which I'm gonna say so that we can answer it while we're talking now.
Okay.
But somebody asked who's the best gifter. See, that's what this thing does of birthdays like this. Who's the best gifter? I'll let you
And I
answer
hate
it
that I
in a
come
second.
first.
Because now I can just go hard on the 8th. And now she sees all these gifts. She knows tomorrow I'll be there like...
And I can't do last minute gifting. I don't have a day in between where I can be like, ooh, okay, cool. Now I'm going to make sure that This year that happened. No, I mean last year. 2021.
Our first
that
birthday
happened.
together. We literally just
Yeah, it
started
was
dating.
and the gifts he gave me, I was just like, as I was unwrapping them, I was like, oh no, these are amazing gifts. Your birthday is definitely tomorrow. So first of all, his gift was still in Australia. Let's just start there. I was just like, happy birthday, babe. It's on its way. Ooh, he's an incredible gifter, but I think we both are.
You're an incredible
We're
gifter,
both
baby.
sentimental, that's the thing. Like, we both really think about what the other person would appreciate. And we don't wait for our birthdays. Like, we gift each other randomly. I remember our second dates. I came and I was like, I have something for you. And he was like, wait, what? I have something for you. And both those gifts were very thoughtful. And I think we've just continued on like that.
And yeah, I absolutely love that because I love being gifted as well. And I love gifting. Not just my lady, but like anyway, family, friends, wherever I can, whatever God supplies, we got to resupply. You got to distribute the wealth or the whatever it is. I say wealth in a very distribute the gifts. Yo, but people are gonna start asking someone, did you say wealth, nigga? So that's a dope question. I really like.
Did you say wealth, nigga? Okay. I have
another question that ties into...
I haven't asked the same question for the past
I'm so excited.
Now I've lost it though, and it was so... Oh, someone said, I can't find it right now, but someone said, you guys seem so perfect. Oh yeah, do you guys even fight? Y'all are so perfect. Perfect is a banned word in our relationship, first of all. We never use the word perfect. We don't describe each other as perfect. We don't describe our relationship as perfect. We leave room for us to be completely human. So we are not perfect and we're not in a perfect relationship. Do we fight? Yeah.
Well, fight is a strong...
Yeah.
Well, I guess
it depends on
I understand fight is the right word because we're talking about relationship fights.
Yes.
Disagreements are called fights,
Yes.
So I'm not going to go over, obviously we don't physically fight or we don't have arguments. These big burst arguments, but we do disagree. We do definitely have conflict. That's a better word.
Yes.
We have conflict. It doesn't happen a lot, but it's definitely happened. And I think, because I think most recently we've been dating now for 7 months. And I think the first few months, of course, were very rosy. We all know what is called the honeymoon period. Because we'd known each other already and liked each other as people, that was spilling over into the relationship, of course. So things were whatever disagreements we're having, there's lots of compromise. But after a while, of course, you want to make sure early on in the relationship that you're being understood properly. And the things that you love are being done. The things that the person loves are being done. And things that annoy you don't continue. So it's very hard to say those in the, who goes on a third date and be like, by the way, it would be dope if you changed your face. Don't like your face, love everything else, not a dope face.
Not a fan of the face.
You're not a fan of the face, but if you can just do something about the face. So things like that. So we do have, and they've been quite real, the conversation and the conflict that we've had, because they were
we've had to really solve.
They really go to a person's character, to how a person carries himself, or things, not carries himself per se.
Habits.
But they go to habits, and they go to be like, this is something that definitely we need to speak about, make sure that we're all on the same page about, and especially because we're always growing and learning and unlearning. So certain conversations, uncomfortable conversations, have definitely been had, but I feel like we've handled them well, at the very least. And I think because what mistake we both made when we first started encountering conflict was that because we went so long without it, when we had it, we wanted to stop immediately. So you had a conversation, you're like, okay, let's go back to the jokes. And it's hard to step in and out of things like that. And giving ourselves grace of okay, maybe I need a little time to breathe because something annoying has happened, and I'm not holding it over your head. You're not holding it over my head, but maybe I need a little bit of space and 2 seconds to just, maybe I want to be annoyed for 2 seconds.
And we actually couldn't read each other for a bit in the beginning. Like there were moments where I'd be like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm okay." And then when he's not okay, that was hard to read. So we had to like learn. I had to like get a sense of like, is he oh he's definitely upset. You know what I mean? So like even with that, like that's something that we had to navigate and like get a sense of like how a person actually reacts to certain things that they aren't really a fan of. Like I had to read you. I'm learning actually to read you more. Because I don't know if you agree with this, but I feel like when something happens now, I'm just like, this right now is annoying me right now. And I want to bring it up right now, and we will talk about it right now so that we are over this annoying moment. Whereas Muchi, it takes him a while to, like I feel like you analyze, like, is it annoying me really? Is it not? And like in that time, like I don't really know how to engage until you actually bring it up and you say, okay, babe, this happened and this is how I really feel about it and I really want us to talk about that, you know.
Yeah.
So I also just had to learn the rhythm of our, like when we're annoyed, if that makes sense. Like it's not always the same. I mean, obviously there are moments where you're just like, I'm annoyed right now and I'm walking away from this conversation right now, or I'm coming back to you to like pull you into this conversation because we are gonna have it right now, type of thing. And just like learning that.
I feel like in the past, because I am a very kind of, when I'm with somebody or even with friends, strict in the way that I love them and I show affection to them. And when something happens to throw that off, I go from being a very patient person to like being hyper annoyed. In that moment, like I have this snap, like, how could you do this? And sometimes I'm a little too dramatic about how could you do this? Even though it's something like, because now that's trying to make people as if they're perfect. And that's trying to make people think as if I'm perfect and I will make mistakes. So I had that bad habit of turning things because I feel like I don't bother people or whatever. Now, when something happens and it's like, why is this happening to me? And that's a very bad habit to have as a human being because it makes you feel as if I'm perfect, I'm out here just Rick Rossing it, and the rest of you are bothering me. And that's a terrible thing to have. So I had to unlearn that. And this is answering a question about people saying what things you had to unlearn. That's one of the things that I'm learning to unlearn. And what she's bringing up about me taking time sometimes to be like, okay, let's go back to yesterday and speak about it. Because I can easily snap out of something and be like, okay, I can say it's not annoying me right now, but then bring it up tomorrow, maybe in a calmer environment. Like, can we just go through it over that again? And that comes from the fact that in the past, I've tripped over people and ruined things only because I didn't give them a chance to like express themselves. And I blew things out of proportion and I walked away. And just because they were wrong and I was right in that position still doesn't mean that it's a moment for me to like say, you know what I mean? Friends and otherwise, it's always been a situation where, when I was younger at least, I've learned quite some time ago and something that I still have to go back and battle with, to be like, everybody makes mistakes. And it doesn't matter, and I'm not better than any other person, you know what I'm saying? Because that makes you sound as if you're, it makes you start to sound as if you're perfect when you're always kind of putting people in their corners. Makes you look like you're the teacher in the classroom who's like, and I hate that about myself. So that's something that I'm definitely unlearning, and I learn every single day. So every time there's conflict, I always be like, I need to calm down so I don't blow something out of proportion because I can talk a lot. If you guys don't know, these guys don't know that I can prot.
What I do appreciate about you though, babe, is he will not allow us to end the day upset about something that happened in that day.
Yeah.
So when I say he comes back later, I mean he comes back like when the moment is still the moment, or like when it's still fresh. I don't have to go like, what are you talking about? It's not that. And he does this thing honestly where he will fetch me. Like he'll still be like, if I storm out and I'm like, oh, you know what, fuck this, fuck the moment, fuck everything, I just want to go be alone, he will literally gently like call me back to it and just be like, we have to talk about this. I don't know how many times, okay, not a lot of times, I'm gonna make it sound weird, but like 1 or 2 times he's literally come back to say like, I don't like the way that the conversation ended, can we please talk about it more? I wasn't listening, or I felt like you were not listening to me, or I felt like there was a misunderstanding, can we, you know? And that's something that I'm learning to do, because as it stands, I'm just like, when things are too heated, I'm still very much like, let's wrap this whole thing up, throw it on fire, burn it. I
think that comes from the whole fact that we're always laughing. So to go from laughing to not laughing is an extreme, like bodily.
But we're also not
function.
always laughing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But our relationship is just we're always.
It is a fun relationship.
We're always making fun of something or watching something
Yeah.
fun. I'm not saying it's from 12 to 12. It's just jokes.
Yeah.
The whole day like I'm living with a clown or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's just, of course, just normal. I don't know what to call normal.
It's a fun relationship. We
But
enjoy
because,
each other.
Exactly. But because we both love jokes so much and we're always being silly about something, like a lot. That's most of what happens.
That's
it's
like
not the only thing that
of the
happens.
relationship, yeah.
But even the most serious things, other people will be like, say what? Because that's how we navigate. Especially when it has nothing to do with both of us and somebody else's business. And we're like, we want to help, we want to do, but like our way of speaking about it, we're like, nah. This person going over there and doing that shit with that person and making.
You will not believe. I don't know how many times we walk into the house
Boy.
with that sentence. You will not believe. I'm about to tell you.
You know what I mean? And even though we're serious about it, we're like, okay, Sharp.
Even if it is like.
Doesn't matter whether we're talking about family or friends or whatever. It's always the conversation always just naturally. So when that stops, it's a very hard thing to deal with. I think it annoys both of us. Go like, oh, we're having so much fun in this moment, and now here we are being at weird conflict with each other. But otherwise, conflict happens. It happens to us. I know a lot of people. A lot of you guys ask, do you ever get angry with each other?
Yeah.
And you've asked many questions pertaining to what we've been speaking about in the last 5 minutes right now, and how we navigate certain things. So there's definitely kindness all the time.
And you taught me that actually to navigate anger, because it is a real human emotion, like to navigate anger and annoyance in love, like with love. You really taught me that it doesn't, they can coexist. I can be annoyed and still be in love with you and approach you with love to express what has annoyed me. I don't have to treat you like you're nothing. Yeah, I don't have to throw my anger at you. I can express my anger to you. And that there's a difference.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you, boo.
Go buy your mama a house. You smart. You loyal. You grateful.
There's a question here about how did you guys go from Lesego as being extra to actually hearty eyes? I'll go ahead and answer this one while you look for another question. But we can add on to Lesego Tlabi, aka Coconut Cows, had been the biggest advocate of us getting together since that mukbang. In fact, before mukbang, she was like, "You guys, I see it. I'm telling you, this is the thing. Bam, bing, bada boom.
Because baby,
make it work."
He would even make me laugh online, like just in the DMs as friends, and I would share so much of his like responses to things on my story and just be like, "Oh, this is so funny." There was actually even a guy I was seeing. Sorry, baby. There was a guy that I was seeing, like, in the time that Muchi and I were friends, there was a guy that I was seeing, and he would call Muchi my boyfriend, like, jokingly. He'd be like, "Oh, do you see what your boyfriend posted? Oh, do you..." Because I was so, like, vocal about how funny he makes me anyway. Like, I just found him incredibly funny.
Sorry,
and so,
boy.
and so people would pick up on that, Lesego being one of them.
But I was also dating somebody at the time.
Yes, so we were purely honestly friends, and I just found him, like, hilarious. But how did we cross over from, like, "Oh, Lesego, stop," to, "Oh, Lesego, you might be..."
Well, I guess because I think it was almost like the time when we like you said earlier on in the video, when we decided, okay, we're gonna hook up after all the slight little flirting, leading up to the middle of June last year, June.
And actually, Lesego and Nwabisa were around when we hung out together, like as a group. Yeah. And I think it's in that setting, for me at least. It's in that setting when Lesego was just like, "Do you guys not really see it?" Like, it was her first time expressing it with us in the room, like, together, basically. And I think for me, that was the first time I thought to myself, maybe I should, like, hang out with Mooch.
But also, I was also taking it, not in a dismissive way, but I'd featured on so many other channels or other YouTubers, other girls that have been to my channel, that you guys say this all the time. It's like you just
About
want me to be in a relationship. No matter who I'm sitting with, they be like,
is there chemistry?
why don't you guys just date? It's just like, I want to date everyone now. It's just, oh my goodness. I'm glad I never listened. I'm so glad I never listened and like, maybe I should explore this situation. I'm glad I explored the right situation. My boots buns that. Anyway, this is not a couple's channel, by the way.
Yeah.
Still hard, nigga. Still from the streets, nigga. I still care. I move weight, boy. Don't play with me. Where my gangsters at? I'm so hard. I'm gonna listen to a lot of DMX. Listen to DMX. Where my dogs at?
What's that? Competition.
Oh, shit.
Okay, cool. Next question. What's the question? But I did have this question on. But this is the only. Oh yes, Kanye West. Oh, I saw it somewhere. It's somewhere here. What is your favorite moment that you've had together, that you've shared together? And I think we can both answer that. I had to answer this recently for another campaign, another platform that Muchi and I were on, and we're just like answering questions about each other. And I remember in answering that question, I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, that is like one of my favorite moments. So my favorite moments with Muchi are moments that aren't like recorded or documented. Like the moments are like 9 p.m. I'm sitting on the couch, he's in the kitchen, something is said, and we erupt with laughter. Like those moments are my favorite. Like,
go on then. Go on, Shorty.
Like those moments are honestly my favorite. There was one time, I mean, it's probably gonna be like lost in translation and whatever. You just had to be there, you know what I mean? So there was this one time I was lying on this couch, he was in the kitchen, and I don't know what he was saying, and then he goes, yeah. And then we were both looked at each other and went,
and it goes a little something like, right away.
And it was such a funny moment. So there were so many moments where we just like in sync, and we know the reference, and we know the thing, and we say the thing, and we just like burst out laughing. Those are my favorite moments with Muchi, honestly, truly. I don't think anyone has ever made me laugh as hard as he has. Even as friends, even before we met and we're just like online people, I'd literally just be like, oh my gosh, this guy is hilarious. But now even more so because like I said, like there's like just personal things that we both understand. We go to events or we with other friends and something happens and we look at each other and we just know. And we just burst out laughing. So yeah, those are literally one of my favorite moments. There is another one on a more personal side and less like jokey side that I go back to and I'm like, oof, I just, in that moment, I realized that this man was made for me, or that God brought him to me rather. I was going through like a really hard time last year, like a really hard time. And everything was happening at my busiest time as well. So I was like on set and on that thing and in that campaign, and I had like all these deadlines. And I just remember expressing it to him because he's my boyfriend. So I was just like telling him like all the stuff that's happening and whatever. And in that moment, he said to me, do you want to like stay with me for the week so that of all the things that are going on, you don't have to worry about like what you're going to eat and like you don't have to be preparing your own meals, you don't have to like be sleeping alone, you don't have to go home and sit with your thoughts, you can just like come home to me for a week and we can debrief and like talk about everything. And I was like, and this was, in my opinion, I was at my least attractive, just in the colloquial way, in the traditional way. Like I was least, like you don't really want to be around someone who's like really going through things and wants to like talk your ear off all the time. And he was like, at this moment where you're not funny Black Wendy, where you're not like pretty Black Wendy, where you're really going through real things, I want to be around you for an entire week. And that for me was just like, damn, you know? It's rare to find a friend who does that, or like a person who's just like willing to open their home to you in that way. So that's another favorite moment of mine, because I stood there and I was like, oh my word, like I am someone who has had to earn love my entire life. So to just be loved at my lowest, it even taught me to be that receptive to other people as well when they're going through a hard time, to just be able to open up my home or my purse or my time to them. So yeah.
Well, bring on the tears. Oh man, oh baby, that's so special. Thank you.
What's your favorite moment?
Man, what isn't my favorite moment with my favorite person?
You.
What you gonna talk about, girl? A couple of favorite moments. One of those moments was on your birthday last year. You know, we just started dating. We started dating in July, right? July.
My birthday's in August.
Our birthdays are a month later. So, of course, she's this beautiful girl that I love a lot, and I'm trying to impress, and I'm trying to definitely secure her heart and whatnot. So, you know, I'm out here trying to do as much as I can to make sure that her day is special. And she told me that, you know, past birthdays weren't that special or whatever. She's never really, you know, celebrated in this or that way, and never really had like big things with friends and whatnot. So the first thing that I really wanted was for her to have a birthday, because she was like, nah, I'm not going to do a birthday with my friends or whatever. And she was really didn't want to do it.
Adamant, yeah.
She really didn't want to do it. But I just sat there and I just, you know, I spoke into her ear and I was just like, baby, I promise you, this is the year even to do it. You know, you've accomplished so much, you've worked so hard. And even that moment I knew you're going through so much already. You started to share bits of that. But I was like, you have to celebrate, just to say thank you. And when you wanted, and I could see you didn't want to do it, even in the moment which you said yes, it's like you were hoping that it kind of gets cancelled or not. And
people can't make it. I sent the invitation and I was like, I really hope everyone is like, I'm busy.
But you know, so you know, she's getting more and more anxious. She didn't want to, but she did it anyway. And the love, it's almost like her friends felt that love, that she kind of needed them to celebrate. I don't know what it was, but it was like a God connection that happened. And to see her on her birthday, and she bought herself this beautiful dress, and she had the best smile, and she wanted to take pictures with everybody, and there was this table, and all her friends were there, and she just wouldn't stop smiling. And I was sitting at the end of the table, away from her and her friends, and I was just so grateful in that moment, because at some point I wanted to stop pushing, and be like, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. This is your birthday at the end of the day. But I was like, nudging, and then she made the last place. She chose the place. She sent out the invite. So she took it over, and I was so happy to see how brave she could be in that moment where she felt so scared still. So that was one of my favorite moments of you. I was just like, look at my beautiful, brave girl doing something that she absolutely does not want to do, but is just so determined to do. And then later on that day, we went out. We went out and went on a sunset flight around the city. And I remember turning around, because there's two, me and the pilot, and she's sitting at the back. We're like, you sit at the back, you know, you must get all the views. Yeah, so when I look back and let's look at your face, when I looked at her face, this whiskey is whiskering. And I just felt so, like, I felt happy. Like, I know this moment is about what, but it's like, I could see in her face just how happy she was. And that just, man, it made me want to cry. Because I was like, I got it right. You know, when you get something for somebody, you want to get it right. Not about how much money you spend or whatever, but you want to get something that, because we only went up there because my girlfriend loves sunsets. So I was just like, you better love sunsets. Better love sunsets for real.
Because I'm about to take the sun.
When you get there, you're like, the sun is boring.
Imagine I sat there and I was like,
But that was one of my favorite moments, just to share that with you. And there was nobody else, literally, I mean, outside the pilot. But there was just our moment. It felt like together to share. There was no, look at me. There was no, yes, there's pictures that exist and all that. But in that moment, I was like, got him.
And you did.
That's my heart. That's a forever thing, boy.
Baby. Okay. One last question from my side. When did you know that you were in love with Wendy? Is one of the questions. And I'll also answer, I guess, when did you know that you were in love with Muchi? I guess I just did. I did, actually. So, Muchi, when did you know? His phone is ringing. So, when did you know that you were in love with Wendy?
When did I know that I was in love with
You told me.
Wendy? Do you remember?
Yes.
Then say it.
It was, I don't think it was a Sunday morning, but it was a morning. I was over at his house and, excuse me, I was over at his house and he was making breakfast in the kitchen. And I was like, oh, you know, I want to play like music for us. And it was a nice, calm morning. And I put on Maverick City. And the song is The Joy of the Lord Is My Strength. And that was the first time playing like a gospel song actually in your presence. So I was like, I know he loves God. We've spoken about God. He's the center of everything that we do and all of that. But I was like, I wonder if he like, you know, worships, plays like this kind of music and actually gets into the zone, you know. And I remember playing it and there's a chorus like at the end. I'll never let go of your hand is what they are singing, and they sing it over and over and over. And I remember, I think like the 4th time they sang it, he was also singing it like while in the kitchen, but he was hearing the song for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, he's singing about God. So that's when he was like, when you played that song, I looked over at you and I was like, I'm in love
that
with
my
this
baby
girl.
do. That my baby do.
And you know when I knew, right? I just said it actually to the community. That time in my life when things were rough.
Yes.
And you were my best friend and confidant in that time, and I was like,
Falling in love is the most beautiful thing in the world. It's also the scariest thing in the world. I don't know, man. But I don't want to sound like everything is all magical or whatever, but they say when you know, you know. And the only way for you to ever know is to get to the point where you know. Like, everybody who doesn't know right now, oh, trust me, you're going to know. And it's going to be so beautiful today. You're going to be like, that's what everybody is talking about. And every other moment that has made you feel like this is not that, I don't know, then you don't know yet, then it's fine. That's not the thing that's what everyone is talking about. But when you know, you'll know. It'll be the easiest thing that you've ever done. It'll just feel like, oh, that's the other piece of the shoe. That's I'm left, she's right, I'm right, she's left, whatever you want to say. It just comes together, so nicely, and you go to sleep with no doubts, you wake up, no doubts, just no doubts everywhere, just like the group, no doubts.
Diggity, no doubt.
So it's beautiful, man, and of course I feel like we've probably come to the end
We have.
of this video. It's such a long Q&A, and I know we've only answered probably maybe 10-15 questions, if that, and you guys asked hundreds, but we can't get to all of them. Maybe we'll do a part 2 on tour.
If you want a part 2, let us know.
Yeah, comment down below if you guys want a little bit more of this. We'll give you guys from another setting. Maybe we'll do it when we're traveling next time. Answer them on the on the move rather. If you guys have any questions around that, and if you have any other suggestions of what you guys want to see, both of us do. This is not a couples channel. Her channel is not a couples channel either, but we are a couple. So you're going to see each other. You're going to see us on each other's channels. Yeah. It is inevitable. So you're just gonna have to deal with how you deal with it. But Muchi Man is my fam that I neglected for so long. Thank you all for coming back. Thank you to all the new subscribers. Hit the subscribe button. It's weird if you don't. Share this content. Hit like as well. Favorite it. Whatever else there is to do that thing. Go over to the Black Wendy channel. She's rocking out there as well. Follow us on socials. Everything is out here at the bottom. If it's not, it's Super Snaps on Instagram, Super Says on Twitter.
At the Black Wendy everywhere.
At the Black Wendy everywhere, including my heart.
Aww.
My baba. Shabari cuteness. Shabari cuteness. Shout out. Again, this is Muchi Man, the channel where I speak about the things that matter to me. And today, you all matter to me. Shout out.